Hey guys, here is the second episode of this year's Christmas special. It's the final bite or Amuse before we start on the courses. It's an Amuse based on Salsify, coffee and pear. Super rich in flavor and lovely in texture. It's a Salsify roast that's cooked sous vide with coffee beans, a Salsify sauce, a savory sable cookie and a fresh pear gel. So, let's begin. First we're going to make the coffee oil. Pour 250 grams of a neutral oil in a pan and heat it up till the temperature is 50 degrees Celsius. I would suggest a sunflower oil or a grapeseed oil. Then add 25 grams of your preferred coffee beans and half an empty vanilla pod. Turn down the heat to a minimum and let it infuse for 2 hours. After that, turn off the heat and let it infuse for another 3 hours. Once you're happy with the flavor, pass the oil through a fine sieve and let it drip for at least 30 minutes so you don't waste a single drop. Keep it in your fridge for later. Now for the fresh pear gel. Start by peeling 3 pears. Ensure that the pears you use are fully ripe and sweet. Then cut the pear off the core and weigh 300 grams into a pan. Also add 60 grams of pear vinegar, 80 grams of sugar, 3 grams of salt and 7 grams of agar powder. Blend it till smooth. Now it's very important you taste the base. If the pear wasn't sweet enough, you need to add more sugar to balance the sourness. Then bring it to a boil for 30 seconds and stir it every now and then to prevent it from burning. Once it's done, pour it into a bowl and let it cool down in your fridge. After that, transfer it into a blender and blend it till smooth. Now to bring the gel to the next level, I always vacuum it. Just transfer it into a bowl and vacuum the gel 100% to remove any air bubbles. This will result in a clear gel with a more intense flavor. Then transfer it into a piping bottle and keep it in your fridge for later. Now for the savory spelt sable. Pour 250 grams of flour in your worktop and use the bowl to make a well in the middle. Fill it with 30 grams of almond powder, 30 grams of icing sugar, 150 grams of butter, 3 grams of salt and 40 grams of beaten egg. Mix it till it comes together and then knead it into a nice dough. Once it's an even dough, directly stop mixing to prevent too much gluten from forming. Then cover it and let it rest in your fridge for at least 1 hour. Now dust some flour in your worktop and roll out the dough till it's around 3 mm thin. The dough needs to stay as cold as possible, so try to work a bit faster. Once you're happy with the thickness, cut it with the desired cutter. Then carefully place the rounds on a perforated silicone sheet and place another sheet on top. Now bake them at 170 degrees Celsius for around 15 to 20 minutes. Then let them cool down completely and keep them dry and covered for later. Now for the Salsify. First we're going to make a water bath to prevent the Salsify from turning brown. Mix 2 liters of water with the juice from half a lemon and 1 tablespoon of flour. The flour does really help, but obviously it's not gluten-free anymore. You could also make it without, but this is just a bit better. Give it a proper mix and set it aside. Then take a couple Salsify roots and wash them well with a metal sponge. You could also peel them, but then you're left with a much thinner Salsify. This works great as well. While you're scrubbing your Salsify, keep the cleaned ones in the lemon and flour water. Once they're all clean, trim the top and bottom and transfer them into a vacuum bag. I place 7 pieces in each bag. Also add 150 grams of milk, 10 grams of coffee beans and 2 grams of salt. Then vacuum the bags 100%. I do this in my Henkelman Aura vacuum machine, a partner of the channel. Now cook the Salsify in a sous vide bath or in a steam oven at 90 degrees Celsius for 1.5 hours. You could also simmer them submerged in milk with some coffee beans, but by cooking them sous vide it really improves both texture and flavor. When simmering you need to cook them for about 20 to 30 minutes. Once cooked, let them cool down and then take them out of the bag. The longer you leave them in the bag, the more intense the coffee flavor will be. Just keep this in mind. Now remove any milk solids and the coffee beans and slice the Salsify in thin, even slices. You could also do this on a cutting machine, but since most people don't have one, I'll do it by hand. Keep the trimmings for the sauce. Then lay them slightly overlapping on your cutting board. This recipe does take some time, but it's so worth it. Once you have laid enough slices, start rolling the rows. In the beginning you need to be gentle so it doesn't fall apart. Once you have a solid base, apply a bit more pressure for a beautiful tight roast. When you're happy with the size, you can cut it in half. For this you need a really sharp knife and be very gentle, otherwise it will fall apart. When in doubt, I would suggest to first wrap it in cling film and then cut it in half. This will prevent the slices from falling apart. If you make them on the day you serve them as well, you can already place them on the sable. Keep them covered in your fridge for later. Now for the creamy Salsify sauce. First cut 2 shallots in half and clean them. Then slice them in thin slices. Now pour a drizzle of oil in a pan and start glazing the shallots. Meanwhile, also clean 3 cloves of garlic and slice them as well. Add them to the pan with 2 grams of salt and glaze it for another couple of minutes. Be careful that you don't get any color. Once softened, add 500 grams of vegetable broth with 150 grams of cream, 2 sprigs of thyme and 150 grams of the cooked salsified trimmings. Now reduce it till you're left with 650 grams. This saucepan weighs 1000 grams, so that makes checking the reduction process very easy. Once reduced, remove the thyme and blend it till smooth. Ensure that the blender is strong enough for the best result. Keep it in your fridge for later. Now as a final step, we only need to cut some pear brunoise. Just peel a pear, cut it off the core and cut it in thin slices. Then cut it in brunoise, so little even cubes. Keep it covered in your fridge for later. Now we can start to finish the mousse. First heat up the salsify in an oven at 150 degrees Celsius for 2 minutes. Once hot, make the outside shine with the coffee oil. Meanwhile, you can just heat up the sauce in the saucepan. Then place a tablespoon of the pear brunoise in a bowl and cover it completely with a generous amount of sauce. Gently place the salsify rose on top and when needed shape the rose with a tweezer or a needle. Now pipe some small dots of the fresh pear gel on top and it's ready to be served. Okay guys, that's it for today. I'm incredibly happy with the dish, or with the amuse. I think it looks very sophisticated, and especially with the amount of sauce that's underneath, I can't wait to dig in. But first, let's talk about the pairing. In the previous video, I paired the other bite with an alcoholic pairing, so I thought it would be nice to serve this one with a non-alcoholic option. I decided to go with a sparkling tea. This is one from Established Sparkling Tea, a brand created by 2 guys here in Amsterdam. At the moment they make 2 different flavors, the magnolia one and this one, which is the Honey-Bouche, a blend of Honey-Bouche and rooibos that's enriched with botanicals and spices. The honey provides a rich and aromatic flavor that balances super well with the rich flavors of the amuse that are made today. If you want something non-alcoholic or you just want to experiment with different pairings, I would definitely suggest this one. And now the moment I've been waiting for, because I can't wait to dig in and enjoy all that delicious sauce. If you want, you could obviously serve more sauce, but I served about 2 or 3 tablespoons and that's already quite a lot. Now let's just dig in. It looks incredible, especially with that savory sablé, and it has been standing here for a while already because of photos, b-roll, stuff like that. But come on, that looks incredible. That's so good, guys. You have the pear with the salsify, the rich flavors, and then still the sablé. Even though it has been steaming for quite a while, it's still crispy, which is incredible. And now the pairing. Oh yeah, that's good. I love something non-alcoholic. Nowadays, when I go out for dinner, usually I order maybe 1 glass of champagne or something else, and then I stick to the non-alcoholic, because I actually, I think when you have 6, 7, 8 courses, and you get so many glasses of alcohol or wine or maybe a cocktail, I get a bit tipsy, and then I'm not going to be able to remember the food, and I'll go out for dinner for a nice experience. And of course, having wine, enjoying life is great, but I think that when you order maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine and then something non-alcoholic, which is super exciting as well, then it's gonna be the best of both worlds. So that's why I think the sparkling tea is a great option, especially to go with this dish. The rich flavors of the rich flavors, super well. Great match. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments on what you want to see next. Like and share the video. And be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss any other of my Christmas special videos. And as always, bon appetit!